Ladies and gentlemen, we are back once again with another CO Sports Talk episode. This is episode 16 now, so we're getting up there. We're going to keep grinding. Uh, but today it should be a relatively short one, maybe. Um, we got the top 10 MLB ballparks, and we will be joined by a special guest here. You'll see in a few moments. And then we just break down the Warriors, who had a great win today over the Memphis Grizzlies, a very important one. The biggest game, Bob Fitzgerald, Warriors announcer, was saying of the history of Chase Center, because they have not been in the playoffs at Chase Center. So, and then we will also do a little quick Giants talk as well. So we got a couple things to dive into. So let's get right into it. I'll recording.
3, 2, 1. All right, so we're now joined by Conrad Wilbur, baseball expert. This guy knows everything about baseball, top to bottom, defense, offense. He plays it himself, batting 324 average right now for the SHB Gators. So solid year he's having. But today we're going to break down the top 10 MLB ballparks. The big debate everyone has. I'm sure we all have our opinions here. Some like Wrigley, some hate Wrigley. So we will see here and start with number 10. So I'm first here. I got Minute Maid Park at 10, the Astros Stadium. It's my favorite of like the indoor outdoor stadiums here. It's an outdoor. And ever since they got rid of that hill in center field, I've been a fan of it. I like the train that goes by, and I think this is a classic stadium. Although they did cheat, I do think it's a top 10 stadium.
Yeah, number 10, I had Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City. I recently took a tour there, and I really love the city. It had a great backdrop, not too bland, and I love the ginormous screen. So yeah.
Max, yeah, and the fountain is very nice.
Yeah, that crown on the scoreboard is cool.
Yeah, I would say the only downside of the Royal Stadium, which I'll get to because it's also mine, is it's kind of in the middle of nowhere. It's not like in the city like some stadium.
Yeah.
All right, I got the Citizens Bank Park, Philadelphia Phillies Stadium at my number 10 spot. And I think it's just a beautiful stadium all around. There's good outfield seating. There's a cool batter's eye out in center field. And it just seems like a fun time. I've never been there personally, but I always like playing there as a Giants fan. And I like the Liberty Bell out there in center field as well. So overall, solid stadium.
Definitely a hitters-friendly ballpark.
Yeah.
At 9, I got the Angel Stadium. It's called Angel Stadium. Very boring name, but I like the stadium. I also love the artificial fountain in the outfield. I think it's a very hitter-friendly ballpark. I kind of like to see Mike Trout go yard here all the time. I love when our Giants play here, so I like the stadium. Although it's also just kind of a parking lot stadium in the middle of nowhere in Anaheim. That's why it's not lower down. But I think it's a pretty underrated stadium and newer stadium. So I like Anaheim Angel Stadium.
Well, yeah, I mean, I always love the rocks out there in center field. That's probably my favorite part.
Fact.
Yeah, 9, I also had Citizens Bank Park. This just reminds me of like Aaron Rowan just like breaking his nose in center field. I love this park, very bright, and it's a lot of fun to watch a game there.
Yeah, and the attention to detail to put the crack in the bell in right field, pretty impressive. Just noticed that. But the problem is such a boring players that play. It's like Alec Boehm, just playing at the stadium every night. So it's not exactly the most fun place to watch. Whoa, what is this?
A little bit of a hot take at number 9. I got the overrated Wrigley Field. I mean, there's not much to it. I get it's the oldest ballpark in the league, but other than the ivy, it's not much that's special about it. The scoreboard's pretty bad. It doesn't seem like that good of a viewing experience, but I've never been there. So if I'm missing something, let me know if you've been there. But I just think it's a very overrated field. There's nothing like if it wasn't the oldest stadium in the MLB, who knows if it would get the same attention.
Yeah, I mean, you chose like the worst picture of it. Also, I mean, no one's there, but I mean, I agree with you. I think the one cool part is you can like watch it from apartment buildings and stuff without going in. But the actual stadium isn't exactly new and nice. All right, at 8, I have what Conrad had at 10, I believe, Kauffman Stadium. I love this stadium. It was fun playing here in the 2014 World Series. Helps me because we won a World Series here. But I mean, the fountain, as I said, is sick, and the outfield and home runs go in here. and it's just a nice stadium in general. And it's in like the same facility as the Chiefs Stadium, which is pretty cool. So you could like catch 2 games in the same day.
8-eyed Coors Field. Just a lot of fun to watch a baseball game here. Very hitter friendly, high altitude, and a lot of fun.
Yeah, Oliver's been there himself. Can you attest that it's nice, Oliver?
Yeah, it's a really nice stadium. You'll see where I have it pretty high up.
Whoa.
Number 8, I got Target Field, Minnesota Twins. Very underrated stadium, in my opinion. I just really like this, all the stuff they have there in center field, like the Twins logo over the outline of the state of Minnesota out there in center field, as well as a cool right field, kind of with bleachers up there, kind of like Levi's Landing in Oracle Park. And yeah, just an overall great field, and I think it's pretty underrated with the city of Minneapolis in the back.
Yeah, it is a cool stadium. And I feel like the Giants have just never been here and never played in Minnesota. They never played that division in general, but it would be really cool to play like the Twins and the White Sox and the Indians and go to Minnesota. Well, at 7, here we go. I got Busch Stadium. And I mean, this is a very underrated stadium. Look at the backdrop. I mean, it's beautiful compared to last couple ones we've seen, like the Royals and Angels, that's just a parking lot in the back. I mean, you can see the St. Louis Arch, which is really cool. Pretty rare that you have like the national monument of the state in the backdrop of and the Capitol, as you see where my mouse is. So, I mean, it's a pretty cool backdrop. The actual seats I heard are a little bit old, but I mean, it's pretty dope stadium, I think. And it's always fun when the Giants do their annual trip over to St. Louis and beat the Cardinals.
Yep.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, 7 also had Busch Stadium. Yeah, just love the arch behind in the backdrop. Makes for a great background for the stadium.
Facts.
Indeed. Number 7, I got Camden Yards. My favorite part of Camden Yards is probably that warehouse in right field. But I just heard great things about it. It's a relatively new stadium. Camden Yards isn't, but they made renovations to it. And I just heard it's a great viewing experience for fans. So overall, great stadium. And like I said, I really like the warehouse in right field with the city of Baltimore in the back.
Yep, I also got Camden Yards this time at 6. You know, I mean, this is like one of the best city stadiums, right in the middle of like downtown. And that's what's so cool about baseball stadiums. And MLB experts like Zach Campbell, they just love this stadium. It's their favorite one. So, you know, Conrad has been in the stadium actually in his 8th grade trip. So can you personally attest, Conrad, this is a dope stadium?
Yeah, this is a great stadium. Had a great experience here. And I agree with Oliver, the building in the right. But yeah, love it.
Yep.
For number 6, I have Petco Park in beautiful San Diego. Great backdrop, warm weather, a lot of fun to watch. Hitters hit here.
Facts.
San Diego.
I've seen Tatis and Machado. And to be honest, I kind of wish I had it. And my favorite part about Petco Park is the Western supply thingy in left field. I remember Hunter Renfroe once hit a walk-off jack like onto the 3rd deck of it. And in home run derby, Stanton hit one. So I love that part.
And Bartolo Colon. Can't forget.
Yes, the GOAT. All right.
I also got Petco Park, and I agree with Casey. My favorite part is the Western Metal Supply Co. Because a lot of home runs with big righty power hitters go off that, and that's also great to see. But the backdrop with the city of San Diego is cool. Just great weather, a great experience for players and fans in San Diego.
At 5, top 5 here. I got Coors Field. Dude, I love Coors Field. I mean, it's a tight field here. Just the home run derby there is going to be a movie this summer. It's going to be just balls galore. I mean, Buster Posey is going to win it, but it's going to be tight. And well, we'll get to that later. But yeah, it was a dope stadium here. Great altitude. Weird. I mean, there's no other stadium like it that has like a center field bleachers like that high up. That is just so weird. Probably so hard to see the home plate from there, but I mean, it's just a really cool, unique stadium. So I definitely love Coors Field, and it's top 5 in my opinion. Just edges out Camden Yards.
Yeah. For 5, I have Camden Yards. Just repeating what you guys said. I love the warehouse out in the right. Out of the ordinary for a stadium to have it that close. And when I went there, it was a lot of fun. That's why it's in my top 5.
Thanks.
I got Busch Stadium at 5. a little higher than you guys had it, but it's just solely for the scenery. I mean, I always love playing at Busch Stadium because you see the arch, and also they have the lawnmowers cut an arch in center field. Usually, you can't see it in this photo, but when they're playing, they usually have the arch cut out into center field. Um, but yeah, just like absolute great scenery in the middle of downtown St. Louis. So overall, great park.
Yeah, and I thought that was the Missouri State Capitol, but the capital is Jefferson City. So I don't know what that is, but that building is very cool. All right, so at 4, a bit lower than you guys have, but the Giants played here this weekend. PNC Park. I mean, the other waterfront stadium besides Oracle, it is a sick stadium. I mean, I love the bridge. It is such a cool bridge, how it's just right next to the park like that. And then the Allegheny River. I remember Josh Bell hit it in there in the fly, but it's very rare. And then you got like the right field bleachers, Brandon Crawford section where he's hit 3 home runs in here too this weekend. And it's just it's a beautiful stadium, and you can't forget the buildings here. I mean, tons of them. So this is definitely a top 5 stadium. Terrible team that plays there, but it's by stadium. So, I mean, solid stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 had Wrigley Field. I understand it may look a little bland, but it's just so historical. And I love that IV out in the outfield. And this is one of my bucket list stadiums to go to.
Me too. All right, I got Fenway Park at number 4. I've personally been to Fenway Park. I saw Yankees Red Sox here, and the viewing experience isn't outstanding, but the crowd is always great atmosphere. But just the visual appeal of the stadium is just awesome. The green monster in left field with the pesky pole in right. I mean, it's just all around unique stadium with a lot of historical significance. So an awesome field, but I think the viewer experience kind of holds it back from being, a top 2 stadium, top 3 stadium for me.
Yeah, I went there. Oh, whoops, we're going back. Sorry. I went there last June of 2019. Awesome stadium. The Green Monster is just nothing else like it. So it's pretty dope. I love the Red Sox stadium. Very unique, as you said. At 3, I got Wrigley Field, so I have Fenway edging that out. But Wrigley Field, just a very historic stadium. And although I would probably rather play and visit PNC Park than Wrigley, Wrigley's just so historic, how long it's been there and how old it is, and just such an interesting stadium. But yes, it is a little bit old and kind of rotting there. So I feel like it's falling every year. It was number 1 a couple of years ago. But yeah, Wrigley Field, such a historic field. We kind of covered it.
Yeah, 3 had Fenway Park. I went here a while back, and I just had probably the greatest time at any stadium ever. At this stadium, just especially the experience from just walking into the stadium, just a great atmosphere and a very unique stadium. Yeah, a lot of fun.
You what?
What's up? Number 3, at number 3, I got Coors Field, home of the Colorado Rockies. Like Casey said, I saw the Giants play here when I was down in Denver, and I just loved the stadium, and I just loved the atmosphere and just the appeal. I saw it on a nice Colorado night. It was nice and warm in the summertime. The batter's eye, well, it's not really batter's eye, but the center field trees with the river is awesome. The altitude makes balls fly out of here, and just an overall very beautiful stadium. So that's why I have it at 3.
Facts. The only downside I would say is the rain delays. I mean, there's got to be a rain delay here, like at least once a week. Every single time the Giants have to do a doubleheader, and then they get lucky in one of them, and Charlie Blackmon seems to always hit a walk-off. But I mean, great stadium. At 2, I got Fenway Park of Boston. We covered it. I mean, it's just such a dope stadium in the middle of Boston, and you just got the green monster out there. You can go under it. It's just a cool stadium. I sat where my mouse is in this little green section right here. It was really cool. So all 3 of us have actually been to this stadium, and the Red Sox lost that game, which was really fun because all the Red Sox fans were all mad. And yeah, it's just a really cool stadium. Fenway Park, second best stadium in the MLB, in my opinion.
I have PNC Park. Yeah, the Giants were just playing here, and I just got to see how beautiful the stadium was. Just look at the background; you can see the whole city. It's probably the best background in all of baseball at a stadium.
Yeah, I agree.
Number 2, I also have PNC Park. So high praise for PNC Park here at CO Sports. But yeah, the Allegheny River with the yellow bridge, just an absolute insane backdrop with a beautiful field. Like that big P in center field is incredible. So this is also definitely on my bucket list, along with places like Wrigley. I just really want to see a game here. It's just an awesome field.
Yeah, I would love to see a Giants Pirates game, hopefully in the summer in Pittsburgh. That would be awesome. All right, so who does Casey Oliver Conrad have at 1? Oracle Park is what I have. I am a little biased, but I truly do think this is the best stadium in all of the MLB. The photo on the left, was taken by me, and the photo on the right was taken by me. Great photos, and we do have the privilege of going here like at least 5 times a year to games. Just a great stadium. Little thing about it, 85 total home runs have ended up in this right field water, and then the new scoreboard is huge. Everyone can see it. And then, of course, the Coca-Cola, the glove. So, beautiful. Then bleachers, its own thing. And then third deck, that gets rowdy. Club. And then, of course, first and third base line. So it's a great stadium. Nothing like it. The garlic fries there, the food there. Just a great place to go to a day game. And then Friday night games are also amazing.
Yeah, no surprise here. Of course, everything you said, and of course, McCovey Cove. Can't forget about that. And also, crab sandwiches, Ghirardelli, all the food here, greater than all the stadiums.
Casey called it bias, but I don't even think it's bias. I think it's right now the undisputed best ballpark in MLB. From everything to the viewing experience to the beauty of seeing the bay and the city of San Francisco right behind you. The Coke bottle, which is also a slide for those who don't know, and the glove out in left field, they're very iconic. They changed the scoreboard as well, so now it's huge. But yeah, absolutely a great ballpark, and the food as well. The Ghirardelli Sundays are absolutely magnificent.
And became more hitter friendly. So
yeah,
true. They did bring in the walls, so now more Giants players are going yard.
Yeah, in my opinion, this is the second or third best stadium. And it became first when they got rid of the bullpens on first and third base, because those bullpens actually were terrible. People get injured on them. They sucked. Once they got the bullpens, made the bullpens better and made as you guys said, made it easier to bat. So, that made it the number 1 stadium, in my opinion. This is a super cool photo. So there you have it. Cox, disputed top 10 list, Conrad Wilbur, baseball expert. Go hit him up. His Instagram is cdwilbur2005. He will answer any MLB question. So yeah, there you have it. Our top 10 ballparks.
All right, Warriors fans, this one is for you. The Warriors are a very hot team right now. Have won 6 straight. They beat the Thunder twice. The top 2 seeds in the West, Jazz and Suns, beat the Pelicans without Steph, Draymond, Oubre, or Wiggins. Jordan Poole dropped 37 to propel the Warriors to that win. And then today, the biggest game of the season so far, the last game of the season, they beat the Grizzlies 113-101 with Steph Curry dropping 46 points. A career high a career high shots attempted for Steph, as he wanted to do anything to win this game. The Grizzlies had a good fight. They were down most of the game. They tied it late in the game with Dylan Brooks playing really well, but then Dylan fouled out a very heads-up play by Draymond Green to try to draw the foul on Dylan. And so Jonas Valanciunas dropped 29, leading the Grizzlies. And like I said, Steph Curry had 46. Andrew Wiggins had 21. Draymond had 14. And Jordan Poole off the bench with a cool 15. So Jordan Poole is playing really well. But let's talk about these last few games. The Thunder, we made a quick business of Thunder, so not much to talk about there. But the Jazz and Suns win. What do you think about these wins and how important they were?
Yeah, first of all, just great wins for the Warriors at the perfect time. They needed these to make the playoffs first and secure a good spot. So they've won 7 of their last 8. In the last 6, starting with the Jazz game. This is Monday, and this is awesome. Beating who the 1 seed was. Jordan Clarkson was actually amazing for the Jazz, but they still stopped him. He dropped 41. But Curry had 36, as you said, and this was just a great win. And this shows that the Warriors can compete this playoffs. It's not like we're making it and we're getting crushed next round. We can compete. I mean, there's a chance we can make it all the way to Western Conference Finals, maybe even the finals. And then next day, we end up beating the Suns. So, I mean, 2 great days for the Warriors. And this time, Wiggins had an amazing day. And Curry wasn't even that good that game. I mean, 21. But for Curry, that's not that good. And then Friday, we beat the Pelicans only by 3, but it was with all our scrubs. And as you said, Poole did really well. And lastly, today, last game of the season, Warriors beat the Grizzlies. So, I mean, going in, next time we see you guys, viewers, the Warriors will be done with their play-in tournament. So, I mean, it's getting intense.
Yeah, and it looks like we are going to play either Damian Lillard and the Pelican. Looks like we're either going to play Damian Lillard and his Trailblazers or the Lakers with LeBron and Anthony Davis. It all depends on if the Trailblazers beat the Nuggets today. But the Nuggets have nothing to play for, so we could see some players rested, which means we might be actually facing the Lakers instead, which would be a little bit unfortunate.
Yeah.
But yeah, for this play-in game, securing the 8 spot was really big for the Warriors. If they lost today, we would have been in the 9 spot, which means the best they could have gotten would be the 8 seed, and they would have to play the 1. But getting this 8 seed is clutch because now they can play for this 7 seed and maybe face the Suns. So yeah, I mean, a lot of people are confused about the play-in system. It is confusing, but we recapped it last week. I'll put the link in the description if you want to check with the timestamp. So as Casey mentioned, the next time we will see you, the Warriors will have their seed and we'll be done with the play-in tournament. So get excited for that, Warriors fans and NBA fans. I mean, I think it's going to be a great playoffs as a whole. So that's what we got for Warriors talk. And now we'll talk a little about the San Francisco Giants.
All right, so now we're going to talk about the San Francisco Giants. Since we last talked about them, we're 4-2. However, it doesn't feel as good as 4-2 because we just split a series with the Pittsburgh Pirates. We were not very good. However, 4-2, we had a nice sweep versus the Rangers, 2-gamer, but still nice sweep. Great pitching by Alex Wood and Logan Webb during it. And then Thursday through Sunday, won the first and last games of the series. So how do you overall feel about these last 6 games, Oliver?
I mean, I really like the sweep of the Rangers, but the beginning of this road trip to the Midwest was a bit disappointing for me. Spinning versus the Pirates is a little bit unacceptable for the caliber of the team we want to be. With the Pirates projected to be one of the worst teams in the MLB this year, but maybe they're better than we thought.
Yeah,
but yeah, we need to win at least 3 out of 4 on the road in PNC Park, which we talked about earlier. Great stadium. A nice win today. Alex Wood improves to 5-0 with a sub-2 ERA, so looking like an early Cy Young candidate, as do many pitchers on the Giants starting rotation staff.
I mean, I actually think this Pirates team was better than their record, although they don't have much like star power at all. Some like Adam Frazier really impressed me. He's a very good little player there. And then Brian Reynolds, I mean, not a star. Giants actually traded them for McCutchen a couple years back, but he was very strong. And their pitching actually was the most impressive to me. They had 4 kind of nobody starting pitchers start, and 3 of them did really well, especially, the second game there. So, I mean, this Pirates team, for Pirates fans, if we have any Pirates fans watching, don't feel hopeless. You guys have a pretty bright future, actually. You're probably going to trade Adam Frazier, I would assume, to get even more future. But, yeah. So the Pirates did impress me a little, but overall the Giants should have won, especially that second game. And then yesterday was also frustrating. Blew a 6-2. Frustrating to think about. But hopefully Giants do better in Cincinnati.
Yeah, looking forward to this Cincinnati series. Cincy just split a 4-game series with the Colorado Rockies, which is good for us. I mean, Colorado Rockies are not great, and we've, I believe, only lost. Oh, never mind. I mean, we've had good success versus the Rockies so far this season. So we have a 4-game series versus the Reds, and I'd like to win at least 3 of these games going into the Dodgers series, and the Dodgers are beginning to pick up steam along with the Padres. So the Giants have a little fire under their butt. They gotta keep winning games to keep this division lead.
And today was a must win because the Padres are 0.5 back. I mean, they're currently playing the Cardinals, but if we lost today and the Padres win tonight, as they're playing right now, as I said, they would take first. They would take control of the NL West.
Yeah,
So I mean, today was a must win.
yeah. Just in, the Dodgers did fall to the Marlins 3-2 today.
Love
So that is great news for the Giants. And the Padres are down early to the St. Louis Cardinals. So hopefully the Cardinals can hold on to that game. Would be great for the Giants, who got the win today, as we mentioned. But after the Dodgers, we got Diamondbacks, Dodgers again. So a lot of division play going forward after this Red Series. So we'll talk more. We'll touch base on the Giants again next week. But that's what we got for now.
Hopefully we come off a Dodgers series win. That would be amazing. But will that be the case? Who knows? But that would be amazing.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. Hope, and also the bullpen. They need to get together. I mean, Tyler Rogers right now is our only consistent. I mean, bullpen is terrible besides sidearm guy.
Yeah, I mean, it's been pretty awful so far. I just want one guy like Will Smith in 2018, I believe.
Yeah.
2019?
2019, I think. But yeah.
One guy like Will Smith in 2019 who's just locked down. He's going to get the job done. We don't have that right now. And Tyler Rogers is that guy for us, who has a sub-1 ERA. Who would have thought? Last year is one of my least favorite players on the team. And this year, he's shown out. So kudos to Tyler Rogers for doing his thing. But yeah, that's what we got.
Yeah, so that's what we got for you guys today. We had a great guest on, Conrad Wilbur. Did a pretty fun list for you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed that. And then we broke down the Warriors and Giants, our two San Francisco Bay Area native teams. So, great episode for you guys. We're excited to come back next week and, subscribe and hit the bell.
40 subscribers. Thank you to Matt Voska, dad of Kalev. He was our 40th subscriber, so shout out to you, Matt.
Matt Voska out there, we may give away a screwdriver, some tools for you because you're into fixing stuff. So there you go.
Yeah, we're on the road to 50 subscribers, half of 100, half the century mark coming up. So keep pressing that red button and comment below anything you want. Comment below what your favorite stadium in the MLB is, just so we get some more opinions on that.
And today was proof. I mean, Conrad was rewarded for subscribing. He subscribed, and guess what? He came on the show. So that could be you.
It could be. So you never know. But see you guys next week.
See you.